Hey, we're live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I think more ladies than gentlemen. I think, you know, that's what I think. I don't know. Let's see here. Skip Kane B. Stopping here. That's the title of tonight's show. Skip the Canaanator. Ha ha ha. Let's see how well that goes over. Good old Kane. Wait, am I muted? No, I don't think so. Everything looks like it's working. That's all working. Well, good evening, everybody. Hi to the chat. It's going to be an open conversation on any topic whatsoever, from the Idaho 4 to the who the hell knows one, right? And that's where we're at with that. And Skip Kane B. Oh my God. I wonder how long it'll take for someone to snitch on me and tell Kane what the hell's going on over here. Got 5 people in the what's up there, Doc? I can't say your name, Doc, so I'm going to call you Doc. But I beat Kane B to the punch, so to speak. Not that his Tyrannosaurus Rex arms could actually punch anything. But what up there, Brandy J? I just figured we'd come in here and fuck around for a little while. You know, I did watch Alana's stream about the phone calls. What up there, Kiss Me? Kiss Me somehow. I think I showed her my picture on Discord and then she just blew me off. It wasn't very nice, Kiss Me. Unfriendly completely. They're just, oh boy. It wasn't that bad, Kiss Me. We're up to 10. We're 10 people that are going to dodge the Kane B show. Uh-oh, we're up to 12. 12 people, Kane B. Where the hell's Kane B? Anybody know? I hear he's got a stream coming on at 11 something. But, who the hell knows? What do we got going on in the chat room tonight with our 13 viewers? Doc, Peggy Sue, Brandy, Kiss Me. Poor Kiss Me. I'm not mean like that, she says. Oh, yeah. That's why the first picture you sent me had fucking horns on it. Really? Horns? Yikes. The hell was that? You know, bit scary, if you ask me. Bit scary. I'm not mean like that. We're all mean like that. Time and place is what I say. Just time and place. And so I don't have the music and the entertaining little clips that Kane has. We do have to give him credit for that. Oh, we got Peggy Sue, Brandy, and Kiss Me as number 1. They've got crowns that hopefully they're queen crowns, because I think you 3 are ladies, but they appear to be king crowns. So are you identifying as men tonight in the chat room? Let me know, and maybe we'll have a conversation and fix you up about that. Get you on the right path, so to speak. You know? What the hell? You got a hole and no pole, then you are a female. That's the test I was always taught. And it served me well throughout my existence. Idaho4. It's still drawn and creating all kinds of revenue out there. Very popular topic. People are very, very enamored with the Idaho 4. I think that those that be, those in the power that be, have been very successful in clouding up the issue and causing chaos and questions and more chaos and more questions, and with every answer we get, it's just Kiss Me is the opposite of Enton. I don't know what that is. Who's Enton? Is that Brian Enton? Is that what you mean? Why would you compare her to Brian Enton? Brian Enton, soy boy. I was going to say that last night with the photograph from the interior of the home when I was on it was Lee's chat. But where Noons walks in and there's a snowflake pillow. I was wondering if that was one of the frat boys. Was that a picture of one of the frat boys on a pillow? A snowflake? Who's Enton? I don't know who Enton is. So unless you're talking about Brian Enton, we do have, I guess, some Idaho4 stuff we can cover. Like I said, I'd watched Lena earlier in the day, or Lana, Laney, Leany, Lana, who knows? And she was showing us the phone records, and how some cop lied about them. Apparently, the lie, from what I gather now, because I do speed stream, that's a new term that needs to be incorporated into the English language. Speed streaming, where you go into a stream and you hit fast forward, and you jump around, and you stop it in places where you think the information is going to be pertinent, and you can move through a stream really quickly. I suggest you do that with mine, especially ones that last 4 fucking hours. Oh, you would think I was an alcoholic or a drug addict with all that time I spent on here. Oh my God. But apparently word has it, okay, that it wasn't Kaylee calling the boyfriend for a 17-minute call. It was him calling her. That's quite a revelation. What the hell is that all about? He called her for the 17-minute phone call that he denied he never answered. I don't know how that got twisted. Does anybody have any idea how that got twisted around? To be that he was asked if they had a phone call, or I don't know, man. I have no idea what the hell's going on with that. She had the Sprint and the T-Mobile, because T-Mobile apparently bought Sprint. And yeah, it showed an inaccurate time, like it went 11:12 a.m., 11:13 a.m., and then for the dates were wrong. There was a weird errant phone call in the middle of it all. It was quite. Anybody else see the stream there where she did that with the cell phone records? Come on, speak up, forever hold your peace. Don't worry, Kiss Me's married. She's not gonna interfere. He called her. Yeah. Now, whose records are true? Who has the right records? Why, when he was questioned, was he questioned as if she called him? And is the guy that was interviewing him the same guy that was going over those phone records? And how could you make a mistake like, hang on. All right, sorry. Sorry about that. What up, Jilly Bean? How could you make that mistake as a policeman? If it was a call from him to her, oh, that's huge. That's huge. If it was a call from her to him, there's still some significance to it, but not nearly as much significance as if it's from, I don't know his name, Jack Meoff. I think that's his name. There was a guy that I knew, his name was Jack Modrak, and we used to call him Jack Meoff. Boy, he hated that. We all thought it was the most amusing fucking name ever invented in the entire world. Modrak, Meoff. It was just awesome. Boy, did he fucking hate that. Especially when we were out at a barn, we'd say it out loud. There'd be chicks around. Jack Meoff, what are you doing? You get all pissed off. But I don't get it. Who called who? It's phone tag on the Idaho4. Did Jack call Kaylee? Did Kaylee call Jack? We know Kaylee called Jack. She called him multiple times. I think Maddie called Jack multiple times. However, it appears that the calls were not answered. And yet, we do see a period of time where it appears Jack called Kaylee. And it was answered. And they talked for over 17 minutes. Sprint apparently records the phone calls to the nearest minute. I think all phone calls are considered a minute. A minute and 30 seconds, a minute and 10 seconds is considered 2 minutes. So it says 18 minutes on the call, which would mean 17 minutes and something seconds, which is, exactly what was showing up on the other pieces of information. Do we have the police directly interfering with phone records and creating a narrative out of thin air? Well, Idaho isn't that high above sea level, so just out of, thin air might not apply to Idaho. It does to Denver, I think. But I don't think Idaho is that high above sea level. Maybe it's low. Maybe it's below sea level, and the people over there just have too much pressure on their head or something. You know, you get lighter as you get higher, and heavier as you get lower. I don't know. I know gravity is different though. The higher you go, the less of an effect gravity has on you. Matter of fact, the clocks move at different speeds. The top of Mount Everest and the bottom of Mount Everest, the clocks move at different rates, millionths of a second difference, but nonetheless, still at a different rate. Something weird going on with my StreamYard. Don't know why. Hang on. Yeah, I got a really small window in StreamYard. It's embarrassingly small. A man shouldn't have anything that small at all, literally. And yet, there it is in my StreamYard window. The smallness prevails. Not happy about that. Very emasculating. We don't want an emasculating StreamYard window, but here we have it. Chat Mods, Jilly Bean, Joanne, the Mad Dog, Riwi Manu. Who else we got here? Yeah, we don't have Kane B because Kane B is going to run his own show. I figured I'd run interference and skip Kane B and stop in here that's the title. There's no real serious analysis of anything at this point. Number 8. What up? Let's see here. I could do that, but you guys, it's funny. None of you chat people, especially you regulars, it's almost as if you're like scared. I don't know how many. Most of you own a dog, so you got no reason to be scared, right? I don't get it. RJ and EXKM. XKim, RJ and XKim. So is RJ with his ex-girlfriend? What up with that? That's that. If you are, that's cool. What up there, Coco? Is that Coco or is that Coo? Can't make out the foreign letters in that name. Well, Becky. That's the name of my ex-wife, Becky or Rebecca. Boy, oh boy, she turned out to be a pretty mean cuss, if you ask me. Okay, it's Coco. Kind of looks like that. What in the hell? So what was I talking about? The phone calls. Anybody have an opinion on the phone calls? Any opinion at all? Any? I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. I like joking around, but people get bent out of shape and who cares if they get bent out of shape? The problem is if they get bent out of shape and then shit, that's a fucking problem. Excuse my language to the viewers 18 and above. The shit can be left out of being bent out of shape. You don't need to shit when you're bent out of shape, in my opinion. It's just an added action to for no reason. There's no justification for that. Keep your shit to yourself is what I say. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't say for sure. I wonder if any of King B's viewers are in here. I know he's a late night guy, and he tends to show himself on camera in unclothed situations that are rather uncomfortable as far as I'm concerned. I don't even think an adult show should be exposed to Kane with no shirt on. There literally should be a YouTube rule that would give him strikes for doing some shit like that, right? I mean, it's just, I'm a grown man. I don't need to see that, right? It's just insane. YouTube has been weird. Who's talking about Kane? Poor Kane. Yeah, Kane is the top. We'll make Kane the topic of discussion. The stream known as Kane B the Purge. No clue what the fuck he's purging. If he's purging the earth of sweets, that would fit. That would optically fit, right? Yeah, he's on that crazy train there that Ozzy Osbourne used to sing about. He's definitely going off the rails on a crazy train. But he seems to be managing it well. I mean, I just think he forgets to put clothes on. But, I don't know. I can't. Maybe he's getting fucking sugar poisoning or something. Is that possible? I know you can get food poisoning, right? Can you get sugar poisoning? I can't answer that question, but I think maybe in time, Kane is going to answer that question for us. It may become something to concern ourselves with. Too much sugar. But, I don't have a degree in medicine or a degree in engineering or a degree in biology, or I don't think I have a degree in anything. Well, that's not entirely true. I do have a 98.6 degree temperature as a human being. I do have that degree. But as far as like an educational degree, no. I do have a general retard diploma that I got when I was in jail, fucking ages and ages ago. Yep, I do got that. This is the irony. I was a teacher's assistant when I was in jail. The irony between Kohlberger and myself. It's crazy. Although, I've never had even any kind of psychosis or thoughts of, bringing harm to women. I've had many thoughts about women, many inappropriate thoughts about women, but none of them were violent. I mean, I think that's worth a fucking penny or two, right? She's a free, see that? Mason Fairchild. He's a freelance gynecologist, right? He checks you where you pee. And he might even kiss you where you pee. You have to ask him. I can't speak for him, But it is what it is. We live in a really fucked up society. But it's a wonderful world that we live in and all. I mean, for all the fucked up stuff, it's amazing. And we function as citizens and all. Alzheimer's, diabetes. We don't want Kane to get diabetes. No. I had a grandfather that had diabetes. And by the time he passed away, he was basically a stump from all the body parts they had to cut off along the way of his diabetic alcoholic rants. I inherited the ranting ability, but just not the alcoholism. As you know from last night's talk, I had 2 encounters with alcohol, and both of them were very, very, very bad. One prevented the loss of my virginity, and the other one got me robbed, or what was it? I forget now. See, I can't even remember from one day to another. Maybe I'm on the edge of Alzheimer's, right? But one thing I do know, you can't go back in time, but you're supposed to get wiser with time. But time is just time, right? I mean, like, what time do these kids get killed? We don't know. Time is a very difficult thing to understand. Is time part of the fabric of the universe? And I think at this point in time, quantum physics on the smallest possible scales we're able to mathematically understand. The answer to that is no. It is not. I wonder at times what time is, but it is that's just, I have to save that for another time because we don't have enough time to talk about time. It just drives you crazy too many times. But so now we have indications from Lana that a police officer misrepresented, outright lied about the evidence that they had. I didn't catch every bit or every nuance of what she said, but she does come prepared. She comes with documents, and whether her interpretation of the document she's presenting is absolutely correct or not is left up for the viewer's discretion, right? And there is no viewer discretion advised in this room unless you're, under the age of 18. And if you're at the age of 18, there's no need to be in here listening to some old bastard like me. It's just, I don't know how that's going to make your life any better, to be honest. I don't know that it would make it worse, but it may not make it much better than it is at the moment. I think you should be doing something exciting when you're 18, jumping out of airplanes, right? Seeing the world, joining the military in some capacity. Who knows? There's so many things you could do when you're young. So many choices, and yet our youth thinks that they're suppressed or something, and they think socialism will free them. That if somebody else just pays their bills, everything will be better. But that just doesn't work that way. You just then all become evenly poor, and the only way to get above your neighbor is to snitch your neighbor into the authorities, and it's a very, very, very humdrum, depressing fucking existence if you're socialism. or communism for that matter. It's not conducive to the human condition. It's quite the opposite. So what do you guys in the audience have? Everything should be free. Why should it not be free? I think everybody should be given, instead of $1,000 at birth, every newborn baby should be given a robot. I've shared this before. But these robots Elon Musk is going to start making and selling that are going to be able to do all kinds of things. Daycare, and fucking walk your dog, and itch your balls, or whatever the hell they're going to do. But apparently they're going to do a whole bunch of things. Build your cars, right? Build your computers. Maybe they could do all your mining of minerals and all kinds of different things. Maybe they could do everything we do. Then what are we going to do, right? That's what everybody says. What are we going to do? And I think the answer to that is you get a robot at birth and you let that robot perform a task that you're paid for. And you could be a lazy bum and still have a general income to live on. And you could have retarded robots that flip hamburgers for your entire life. Or you could save some of the earnings that you're getting from the robot and add robots or skills to the robot that you have. Right? That would be a good idea. Miss Mamakins, what up? Brandy J, everything should be free. I don't think so. I can't say that I agree with that. I wonder, is Kane B's show up and running? Does anybody know? I have to go into YouTube and look. Where's Kane B? Since I'm effing with Kane B. I don't know how many users this show actually gets. Kane B's The Purge, scheduled for 11:45. I can't imagine how this guy would have all of this delay in his stream. He posts it. It's been posted now for probably God only. It's like upcoming. I mean, who wants to wait till 11:45 to watch whatever? There's 4 people in there waiting. Should I go in there and tell them that there's a great guy, that Sergeant Friday's stream is up and running? Maybe I should go in there and remind these people. Hang on, let's see here. Let me go. I'm going to copy my title. I'm going to go into his chat room, and I'm going to put. and I posted. Skip Kane B. Stop in here. Yahoo News Network. The kids think everything should be free. Yep. Well, because they're listening to ignorant adults that just want control. Here's the thing I love the most, just so you know, is the depth of the ineptitude that people buy into. So I'll give you a simple example. So the guy that makes bread is very wealthy. What's up, Amish? He's very wealthy. And the guy that makes bread supplies a large portion of your community with bread. And he's wealthy from it. And so now you decide that his wealth is unfair. And that now you're going to tax him and make him pay more in taxes. Fine. And so you slap another 10% tax on him. And then if you have any kind of conception of understanding or conscious fucking observational powers, you'll realize that your bread goes up 10% or more. And you'll see that in fact, the rich guy don't pay the tax anyway. You do. So by taxing the rich in really a roundabout, in a direct way, you're taxing yourself. Especially in the modern world. Who's going to make 50 cents on a loaf of bread? And then you're going to tax them more and take 5 cents out of that, and they're going to be okay with 45 cents. No, that's not what's going to happen. They're just going to add the cost to the bread or whatever the product may be. Yeah, you seize his business and make him buy your bread. But then somebody will seize you and take that business from you. And lo and behold, it's the government. We're here to help. I mean, in Idaho, at least in the town of Moscow, they can't even secure a crime scene. That's just, that's just a step above police work, common sense, right? I don't know. It's kind of like the fucking the janitorial staff in a hospital delivering babies or performing surgeries because why not? They're there. They're in a smock. They work for the hospital. I mean, why would you not just take it upon yourself to perform these surgeries, diagnose and issue medicines? I mean, there's no sense in not doing it. Anybody can do it. What a crime scene. No two pictures are alike. I mean, it's like find Waldo in these crime scene pictures. Take all the crime scene pictures and say to yourself, are any of these two fucking pictures alike? Right. DEI didn't earn it. That's a great way to offer opportunity. DEI didn't earn it. Yeah. Huh. The color of your skin? That's a good determination. Isn't that exactly what Martin Luther King argued against? That you were to be judged by the quality of your character, not the color of your skin? He was a socialist too. I'm not a big fan of him anyway. But I am a fan of some of his principles. Just like I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter. But I think they're the only organization that ever clearly stated that the corruption is systematic. The corruption in the justice service is endemic to the corruption, is endemic to the justice system. And there's another word they use, but they were very good at pointing out the problems in the justice system, and maybe they skewed it to their own agenda. And that's kind of what I don't like about it. But the systematic corruption within the system is obvious. I think a lot of us think corruption means a cop is protecting a drug dealer, and that's the corruption, and he's getting kickbacks. That's one form of corruption. But the biggest, most untalked about form of police corruption is the inadequate training in the compartmentalized command structure that lets people in the know direct investigations in places they probably shouldn't be directed. I don't think Satan runs the world. I don't think Satan runs the world at all. I think we run the world, and there's some crazy things in the world. Do you know what the number 666 represents, folks? This might blow some people's minds. Some of you might know. But do you know what the number 666 defines? What's there? It's never too late. Pi. P-8-I. Pi. I don't know. Becky. Number 8. Yeah. Does anybody know what 666 represents? What up there, Love Tina? Not the cube. Nope. Not the cube. I'm waiting for what's his name? In 2 minutes, Kane B will be live on the air. And nope, that's what we're told. That's what we're told. Yep. The beast, Satan. That's what we're told. Yeah, they do ignore crimes in their own community. See, people don't know what 666 means. There, let me just see if I can get. Let me get back and see what we've got. Other than the devil. So, no, it's not a triangle. No. So here's what it is. And the irony in this is just, you could take this for whatever you want to take this for. Uh-oh. We have a visitor alert. Kane is in the chat room. He's preferred this stream over his own. What the fuck are you doing, Kane? We absolutely can't. I mean, this is like ABC tuning into NBC because oh my God. I'm like, I can't believe it. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We've not only brought in listeners from Kane's channel, we brought Kane himself in, which is like, what a pat on the back that is. That's like a trophy. Oh my God. Kane, welcome. Yeah, you gave me a head start, and that's good. But anyway, back to the topic of 666. The answer to that question is 666 is that it's not Satan, it's not the devil, it's not the sign of evil. It's you. It's me. That's the identifier of the carbon that we're made from. 666. And they don't tell you that. They've somehow convinced you to hate that number, 666. It's the sign of the beast, it's this, that, and the other. But it literally is every living human being on the planet. 666. Because we're carbon beings made from that carbon, 666. Right? So it's got here's what it is. There's 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons in the carbon. Yeah, it's not numerology either. It's literally, what do you call our chart there? What's that chart there? But you are literally 666. Every one of us is. Kane, did you start your show yet, or they're still waiting for the purge? Skip the Kane. That shit is just crazy. So just be aware. The periodic table. There you go. 666 describes carbon. You're a carbon being. Without carbon, we couldn't exist. And so what's happened is over the millennia, that's been turned by the church into something evil. But I guess if you want to take it for what they're saying, then we're all Satan. Because there's no marking you with the number 666 because you're made from 666. And when you listen to all the stories and all the chaos and all the bullshit around that number, you got to stand back and ask yourself, what the hell's going on with this? Thomas is there. Thomas is there. Custody Queen Kristen. No. Good evening, Custody Queen Kristen. You came into a show of nonsense tonight. We have no purpose. We have no direction. We're just simply talking smack. We're going after Kane B. He's a friend of the show. And yeah, we're telling everybody to stop going in the Kane B show and come in here. and just for shits and giggles, Kane B stopped in here. I don't know why he paid attention to my title, but there it is. I dragged the creator in here, who's actually a good friend of the channel. He's a good guy. He's funny. Walks around too much with no shirt on, though. And he's a chunky monkey kind of a guy. So walking around without a shirt really isn't that, it's not that appealing. Unlike the gentleman in your show, Ron, who wears nice shirts and ties and stuff. Our Kane B is somewhat on the other side of that, like really, really far down the other side of that. Kane B's pre-shirt. He carries it around in his hand sometimes, but I don't know. He's got to be reminded to put his clothes on. It's crazy. And he's not as, I don't think he's as autistic or on the spectrum as deeply as I am, but there's something he's on. We're not sure exactly what it is. It's not alcohol. He doesn't like alcohol. So, we until we can understand exactly what's motivating him, we as a group in true crime are really remiss in trying to help him. He was a Chippendale. Yeah, he set the stage up for the Chippendales. That's how close he got to being a Chippendale. Kane was setting the stages up. Where are you, Kane? Are you working another show, Kane, for the Chippendales? Kane might have been the stage that they danced on. I don't know. He's a big dude. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Well, Custody Queen, there's a link in there if you want to come on up and bring a topic or ask the audience questions, or Kane is being quiet. We pick on each other. The thing is that tonight Kane is actually not here as a guest. And I pin my stream oftentimes when I'm talking nonsense with the link. And anybody's welcome to come up to the stream. And I'm guessing, are you part of the Custody Queens? Is that what your name is representing? Or am I mistaken here? The Custody Queen Kristen. Is that truly? It looks like it with the avatar. Let me see here. Trying to look at your avatar. It won't let me. I have to open image in another tab. Yeah, I'm guessing that's who you are. I am the managing partner and founder of, oh boy, everybody, come on now. Roll down your sleeves, button up your shirt, tie that tie. The founder is here. Okay? We got the big wig. Although she had a beautiful head of hair. She doesn't need a wig, but she just claimed herself to be the big wig, so we don't know. If she wears a wig, I'm hoping not. You know, that beautiful blonde hair. Kristen is the most vocal. I know. I don't even know how I found your show. Sam goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Oh, that's rather disappointing. We don't want Sam going to bed at 8 o'clock. Sam is like, she's my favorite person on your show. Not to take anything away from the favoritism that I have towards the big wig. And there, you've got a show with 3 hosts, and of the 3, I'm partial to Sam, and that's just how it is. Now I do have emails from you, and I thought from the beginning, Sully Darrell Newberger. Good evening, Sully. I thought from the beginning when you guys sent the email, I said to myself, if they ever listen to any of my streams, I'm not sure. I hired her before she was an attorney, and she's been with me for 12 years. She's a phenomenal human being. Yeah, I think all 3 of you are. I got respect for all 3 of you. Also, there's another guy, Andrew Myers. There are some attorneys out here because I do come in hot with attorneys. I've had my interactions with attorneys in my life multiple occasions, and did my attorneying by myself and found better results than hiring attorneys. But that's not any shade on you 3. Then Andrew Myers, to some extent, there's a few other lawyers out here that I listen to that I respect their approach to how they view the law, how they interpret the law, and how they actually work the law. My advice to people looking for lawyers is, long as that lawyer has access to a law library, or law clerks, more importantly, law clerks involved in their practice, then you find yourself with a capable lawyer. Because a lawyer that has the capacity to have law clerks is ready to actually do something with the law itself. And I've always found better success with lawyers that have access or actually have on staff law clerks. Yeah. Well, come on up. If you're in there, Kristen, Custody Queen Kristen, there's a link at the bottom of the stream there, down by the chat window. I'm a Kristen fan most of all. She has undercover fierce side. They're all great. Yeah, and I like Ron. He seems to be a very polite, decent guy. I got a lot of respect for Ron. He's very, how do you say it? He's just naturally a nice guy. Maybe you could say he's humble, but it's even more unique than that. I think it's even more goes to the core of what he is as a human being. Yeah, let's collaborate soon. I would. They sent me an email. Who's Coco? Coco has sent me an email, and Coco was setting up a schedule for me to be a guest about the bloodstained things that I've gone over and pointed out. Yeah. And that's what I pay attention to. So, Kristen, I'm not out here trying to solve the case or point fingers at the frat or somebody named Jack, or I'm not trying to solve this case. I think that's just a bridge too far. It's a rabbit hole that may never be, you're never going to fill that hole in. And I look at the process from the PCA as an example. In the PCA, when they comment that the footprint by Dylan's door shows the direction of travel by the perpetrator that they stated in the PCA, supporting a witness statement that she claimed she saw someone heading towards, walking past her towards the sliding door. Well, that footprint is not evidence of anything, because the footprint and the shoe that made it are in the property. They actually recovered the shoe that made that print at Dylan's door, and it was in the home. And so when you read the PCA, and they use the footprint to support a witness statement, it's obnoxious. That don't even, not only does it not make sense, but to me it almost seems like a blatant lie, because they had found the shoe before they ever arrested Koberger. So these people had to have known that shoe print had nothing to do with the direction of travel of any perpetrator. Yet it's in the PCA to support Dylan's witness statement. It's things like that I pick up on, and then I try to share to the community. That's just an inappropriate thing. That witness was completely unreliable. None of her questions when she was interviewed, none of them support any of the statements that were made. And bringing in a footprint to try to support it is amazing, right? It's just amazing that the police would go to that level of lying. Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. And I try to stick with just the facts and the topics and what we can understand from them. And in some cases, I'm sure we're wildly inaccurate, but I think safely it can be said that the accusations laid against Brian Koberger are wildly inaccurate either. Whether he's the perpetrator or not, I think the mechanisms and the methods that they used are just wildly insane. The chain of custody on the knife, the chain of custody on other things we don't know yet that Turvey had alluded to. Not even alluded, came right out and said that that's just one of the many issues of the chain of custody. He talked about the chain of custody of the DNA. Pardon me. That's also a problem. If the knife sheath ends up at a lab and there's no chain of custody and the lab sends it back to you, that's a problem. That knife sheath shouldn't be admissible in court. And I think Ann Taylor did maybe the best that she could do. Yeah, there's issues with the chain of custody on the knife sheath as well, and on the DNA. Not just, so that's a big problem. Yeah, sheath or scabbard, as Turvey likes to call it. Also, when I was, so you've listened to the streams when I talk about the blood around that common room, the second floor common area, and the randomness of these diluted blood samples. Very, very bad with their investigation. Their investigation, had they done it properly, may not have resulted in an arrest of anybody, and maybe even up to this point in time. But at least would have given them an understanding of what they were really looking for. And the idea that it was some random guy wandering around in his car at night is just insane. All the evidence collection is an issue. Last night we showed pictures of the common room, the couch, the initial entry by Nunez and his body cam images, which later on in crime scene photographs are wildly altered. Locations of things in the room, pillows, the bag of chips, a potty diaper for a dog. The sectional couch was apart initially and then recombined to be one full unit. The whole house is altered. There's a what do you call those red cups there on the floor, and they were moved from the initial entry by Nunes. Just so much chaos in this that it's hard to believe that this was ever turned into a case against anybody. Right? It was kind of like sending the chimpanzees in. So yeah, now Coco, are you connected to the show? Is that who was emailing me? It just dawned on me. Is that all one thing? Coco and Kristen? Yeah, it's horrific what they did there. And even if they got the right guy, so let's even say Brian Koberger did it. I think with proper legal representation, that there's a high likelihood that a murderer is going to be set free. It may take many years to get to that point, but I think I didn't know that. Look, so Coco, you sent me an email. Is that fair enough? Right? You sent me. You responded to me when I wanted questions answered by Turvey, or not Turvey, by Whitcomb. No, that none of the narrative is true. Well, good. I'm glad to see you here. I'm slow on the uptake sometimes, but once I uptake it, I'm pretty much solid with it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think we've come to the 21st century, and fraternities may not be a requirement. I don't know that they're if they've gone so far off the rails. There was a big bust with Sigma Chi today, with 14 people related to cocaine distribution. Now I'm not implying that all the Sigma Chi fraternities across the country are connected. However, there was another arrest, I think a year before the Idaho4, that I think involved Sigma Chi as well in Pennsylvania. So I could be wrong, but I do know that in Pennsylvania there was a bust connected to a frat. I'm pretty sure it was Sigma Chi, and now we're seeing another bust in Ohio connected to Sigma Chi. And yeah, that's the other thing that really concerns me. I think a lot, and there's a lot of good American people raising their kids and preparing their kids to adulthood, and picking institutions to send their kids to. And I think it is a tragedy that these parents don't realize that not on a massive scale, but on somewhat of a scale, you're sending your kid to Russian roulette. These colleges are targets. They are the Costco of drug cartels. That's their Costco for the drug cartels. Our college is where our kids go. That's never really said. You don't hear that in the mainstream media. You don't hear that on the YouTube or any of the alternative media. But American parents need to understand just exactly what surrounds those campuses. The sex trading, the drug trading, and they target our children. And I think we as Americans, maybe we turned a blind eye to it, but I don't think it's really discussed enough to even accuse the parents of turning a blind eye. I don't think that doing the right thing for your child, that it dawns on you, right? That you might be sending your child to any institution. I'm not saying Idaho or any particular state. I live in a state where my entire, there's so many colleges and massive technological industries around me. But I bet you 10 to 1 that the colleges in my area are targeted for drug distribution. Because as we all know, as adults that have lived through our teenage years, that the experimentation, the thrill, the risk, the being a part of, is a phase that we all go through, especially as we get into our teen years. I think it's something that should be discussed openly. I mean, that's where these drug cartels set up camp. And I'm not impugning fraternities. I'm not suggesting all fraternities or any fraternities are connected to drug cartels. But I have to ask myself, why wouldn't they be? Right? I mean, are you going to buy your drugs from some guy like me that's 60 years old if you're on a... I mean, no, of course you're not. At least I didn't when I was young. I bought them from guys that were a little older than me, but not decades older than me. So, you don't have any crime bosses selling drugs on campuses. You've got students or student-aged distributors surrounding our campuses. What chocolate yogurt? Who's got chocolate yogurt? You're not peeking in on Kane B's show. Kane B is a chocolate fanatic. Anything chocolate, don't ever bring a can of chocolate to him. He might bite your hand off. Kane B is the chocolate man. bakes brownies all the time. He's always eating on his show. It's quite interesting. Now, for me tonight, I got to say, I was out with my race car, and there were no targets. There was nobody I could victimize with a car race. And so I came home and I thought, let me check YouTube. And here we are. I do want to thank the viewers that they're obviously not here tonight, but I think I've got over 1,000 views on some of these videos recently, and that's quite amazing. Costco's quite an amazing store. Did you guys, and I've said this before, did you see all the Europeans that came over here for the soccer games? Oh my God. They were so besides themselves what America is really like, especially the people, and how kind and considerate, how humble, how giving, how exciting, how everything we are. And that's what I mean when I say that although we do focus on a lot of issues in our nation, we're just a great group of people. And it's 2% of the people that can ruin it for the whole bunch, right? What was that? Michael Jackson or the Jackson 5 used to say, one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch. But that bad apple gets all the attention for some reason. That's why I definitely like watching those little clips on YouTube of these Europeans that were told how horrible we were. It was like a war zone. They carry guns, blah, 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 blah. We're lazy, we're fat, we're stupid. And then the Europeans all come over here and they're like, this is the best place on earth. Many of them went home. They're almost in tears. They're dealing with bouts of depression to realize that what they were told was, the best places to live, the best countries in Europe, then not a one of them can hold a candle to even one of our Costco's. One French guy said, "Poof, the great cuisine in France." He's what do you want? One of those Texas barbecues. Yeah, there's some awesome videos out there. And I think Americans should watch that because I think, like it did for me, is it definitely gives you a reinvigoration of who you are and where you are and what you're like from the eyes of people that have no money walking to them, no reason for them to say what they're saying, other than their honest, true experience. And I just think that's, man, that can't be seen enough. I think that should be that should be broadcast in schools, so our young generation understands. Yeah, there's problems. Yeah, things got expensive, no doubt about it. But we're a nation that'll overcome. Man versus food. Yeah. Oh, the other thing that they just, so many Europeans, I don't know, many Americans may not know this, but because of the hashtag global warming agenda that they stuffed down the throat of the Europeans, they don't have air conditioners. Imagine that. Imagine living in a climate that gets hot like it does here, but having no air conditioner in your home. No air conditioning in your grocery stores. No air conditioning in your banks. We air condition stadiums that fit 80,000 people. That's what one of the Europeans was going on about. If America's at war with anything, it's the heat. Everywhere you go, it's either cubes of ice, crushed ice, and you go from pumping your gas to go inside to pay, and you get hit with you get brain freeze when you walk in the freaking gas station because it's air conditioned. And that's one of the things that we all just, so many things we just don't even consider as something exceptional or something extraordinary. And here these Europeans are walking in on this stuff and they can't believe it. Free refills with every meal. They're like, they can't believe it. They got to pay $5 for a 12-ounce Coke with their meal, and they nurse it throughout the whole meal because another one's going to cost $5 more. Over here, you get coffee all you want, you get soda all you want. Absolutely an epic nation we live in. Fantastic people in this country. And yeah, even though the title's Idaho4, I don't know if the custody queen have moved on or Coco's moved on. If they did, it was kind of wild seeing them in here. Totally unexpected, but not It was unexpected, but good to see that they came through. Because I can be a wild card. You never know what the hell I'm going to say. However, I can also be a non-wild card. How's Kane doing? Anybody know? Let's look at on Kane's show. Kane's got 4 people still waiting. Kiss Me Where IP is in the Kane show. That's one hell of a name. Why is she using a name like that? Let me hit refresh on Kane B. Let's see if the show is actually open and on the air. It should be by now, right? Let's see here. You're still waiting on the purge. Where is he? What's going on? What happened to the purge? He's still not on there. He's probably in the back room wrestling with a box of donuts. Somebody better get him off of that sugar. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. The purge. What the hell? The purge paste. Here. Idaho4. Skip Kane B. Stopping here. All right, what else? So aside from Lana, stream, has there been any new information released? Does anybody know? Has anybody heard from Miss Potts? I haven't seen her in a while. I don't know if Kathy streamed today, or if any new documents came out through Kathy. She's like on top of that. Kane doing something he shouldn't be doing? Just MFs. Yeah, Lucy put out a stream today. Now, I think Lucy might be too smart for her own good with the streams that she puts out. Who's getting email threats? Jules, they were throwing shade at Jules and Lana. I wonder why. Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame. The last 24 on the mic. She's identified a nest of vipers. Lucy is definitely, I enjoy Lucy quite a bit. Lucy is very, very intelligent. There's a lot. I mean, I'm going to say, and I mean this with all sincerity. I'm not saying this just to say it. But in the streaming I did politically versus the streaming I've done in true crime, there is an obvious large group of extremely intellectual women connected to true crime. There is some in politics, but in true crime, there's some women that really stand out with their capacity for recall, their capacity to connect recall from 6, 8, 10 months ago to something that just gets released today. So I do want to commend in true crime. There's a big, strong group of highly intelligent, intellectual women, and very attractive to boot. That's the best part of it all, in my opinion. It's a combination. I mean, this idea that attractive people aren't smart, it's just bullshit. Lucy is the GOAT. Yeah, no, I can say that, especially coming from politics for several years doing that. And then coming over to the true crime and with politics, I just can't take it anymore. No, Lucy doesn't bother anyone. No, she'll banter back and forth with you. I pick on her, she picks on me. Yeah, you could talk smack to her and she smacks you right back. It's kind of awesome. And I've had no issue with Lana. What else? Uh, well, most of the women. I mean, it's kind of interesting. The only thing I really try to keep out of my stream, Kane still isn't there. Is the theories? Jack did it, and all the other stuff. The Banfield, the Grub truck, the this, the that, the whites, the this, the that, the 500 block. I just can't wrap my head around trying to solve the crime. Yeah, I don't. I prefer not to use the phone. To me, a phone is a phone, and I had one strapped to myself for 25 years for business, and thank God I sold that company. Good company, great revenue, but I just needed to be free, right? I mean, I could jump in my race car at any time of the day or night and go do what I want to do. I go wherever I want to go when I want to go, sleep when I want, eat when I want. I don't have to worry about being bothered. I could be the one bothering other people. That's kind of nice. The shoes on the other foot. Tomorrow I'm going to take the car to my buddy's shop. He doesn't know I'm coming. I'm going to get an oil change, whether he likes it or not. Genuinely confused. Now that's an awesome name. Genuinely confused. Yeah, responsible for yourself only. It's pretty freeing. It really is. Hang on, I'll show you. If I can. Maybe it's not even on here anymore. What do I do with it? See, there it is. Bear with me. Bear with me. I love showing this. All right, let's see here. There we go. Let's see if this shows up for you guys. Let me hit live. There you go. So I am the older Corvette in this video. Oh, that video is way slowed down. Yeah, I don't know why that video was so slow. However, that is, what did I do here? StreamYard. I got rid of it. And it's now YouTube's having a problem. Yeah. But it's a street car / drag car. So it's 100% street legal. It runs mid 10-second quarter miles at 130 miles an hour. That Chevelle was a big block Chevy. If you know cars, it was a 496 and mine's a small block. And I beat them by about a car length in a quarter mile. And that's I mean, I can't even tell. If you guys haven't had cars, and people have been in cars, they say they're fast. I mean cars that are wildly fast. You put that accelerator to the floor, it scares you. It's not like what most people have experienced in their lives. So it's pretty awesome, man. Your adrenaline starts pumping, your heart starts beating, and that thing just, oh man, it shits and gets. Yeah, it's my biggest hobby of all. It's cars. I used to, anyway. Oh, I don't know. I probably never told anybody this, but when I grew up, my step parents had cotton top marmoset monkey, a squirrel monkey, a Capuchin monkey, a blue front Amazon, a yellow front Amazon, or a Mexican double yellowhead as a parrot, parakeets, gerbils, cats, dogs, fish. We were like a zoo. It was insane. We'd walk that Capuchin monkey down the street and traffic would almost go off the road. They couldn't believe it. Now, a Capuchin monkey, for those that don't know and don't want to look it up, a Capuchin monkey is what they call an organ grinder monkey. They were very big in the early times of the United States with street vendors, and they would have that thing, dun, 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 and they would play that organ. It was an organ grinder monkey, and that's what they would do, is play that thing. And yeah, squirrel monkey was kind of an a-hole. The cotton marmoset was a very chill, mellow. The Capuchin monkey also had a prehensile tail, could hang from its tail, grab things with its tail. It was cool as hell. He'd sit on top of my stepbrother's head when we'd walk him. He'd look like a big hat, but the hat was alive. Yeah, then we had we had a lot of different animals. Van Savant. There he is from the political days. The Savant is here. So quite an interesting existence, I have to say. Good, bad, and everywhere in between. Is Kane? What is going on with Kane? Something happened to him? He's got 8 people waiting over there. Why does it say paramedics on the ambulance? Because there are 2 of them. Ay. That's not even a very good joke, but a good try. Kane B's the purge. Where's Kane B? What the heck happened to him? I wasn't trying to chase him away or keep him from opening his stream. I was just playing. I'm sure he knows that he was in here, right? Supposed to start at 11:45. He's more than 30 minutes late. No wonder he don't got no damn job. He's going live at 12:10ish. Well, it's now 12:21ish. He has some nuclear topic proposed. Uh-oh. Is he going to go to open warfare against Sergeant Friday? Are we going to have the battle of the streams? Because I can lob some weapons his way. Absolutely insane. I don't know. Not much really on the Koberger case that I'm aware of. I don't even know. I can't believe he's not there. It says 11:45. Now it's 12:20ish. Kane. Over there, Kane is late as hell. My blue wrench is still functional, so it is there, Mr. Savant. What's going on with you? Anything good? We got the Twizzle stick in the house. Where's Lucy? Lucy usually follows him in. Where's Lucy? She made a comment about the Twizzle something. What was she talking about today in her stream? She had some little thing in there. If you're part of the Twiz group or something. What the hell was she talking about, Twizzle stick? Was it that or was it Twitter? What the hell was she saying? He probably slipped and fell on Rice Krispie treats. No, imagine him matching down on a Rice Krispie treat. That, oh my God. Twiz gang, probably. What's the Twiz gang? What the hell is that? What is a Twiz gang? That's what I read. That's exactly what I read. I have no idea what it is, though. Swimming U.S. Masters swimming, just grinding out to 10,000 yards a week. Look at that. You're swimming your ass off. I'm in my pool probably as much as you're in the swimming water there. What is a Twiz gang? Can anybody tell me what that is? Are they like Gilters? Are they like Pro Sire? What are they? Somebody let me know. Someone called you a gang once. Oh. Yeah. Can't beat water. Water's the best thing in the world, man. And it's the most abundant thing in the world. A data cult. A data cult. Huh. Is Translucent in here? I don't think she is in here. If it's I forget. I think Translucent's a girl, right? I don't know. I thought Amish was a girl because Amish said he was a girl. Then he comes in here and he's a dude. I don't understand. All of this back and forth with whether I'm a boy or a girl is insane. Oh, man. Anybody got any data or any questions or anything they want to point out on the Idaho 4? I just came in here off the cuff. I had no idea I was even going to do this. Amish is a dude. I know he's a dude. Yeah, I enjoy talking with Kathy. The water around. Make friends with it first, though. There you go. Amish is joining the WNBA. That's badass. Once a group of us friends till Twiz left and got brainwashed. He didn't get brainwashed. He didn't get brainwashed. He's got an empty head anyway. What's there to wash? Don't worry about it. Twiz is just, he's enamored by Cy Ray's popularity, maybe. I don't know. He's keeping you all distracted. Twiz is the ringleader. Twiz, are you Cy Ray's ringleader? Is that what they're telling me? No. Where the hell are you, Kane B? I can't even step down until he steps up. I took all his followers. Now he's down to 7. I'm up to 82. Maybe translucent is trans. I think Twiz and Willie are the ultimate perpetrators. It's because Cy Ray. I think Cy Ray's the leaker. I think Cy Ray is playing a slippery. He's on a slippery slope with his nonsense. And that's my personal opinion of what I observed from the guy, and my experience in life with people when they behave the way he's behaving. Sausage slams on table. Uh-oh. I swear to God, I've never slammed my sausage on a table. I never did, never even thought of it. There's other places to slam it that probably feels much better than a table. But, to each their own, I say. To each their own. I stand in no judgment. What's the deal with him, Twiz? The data is the data, but nobody's seen the data. I mean, he's telling us about data that nobody has seen. So the data is the bullshit, right? I caught a fish the other day, Twiz. It was the size of a fucking city bus. You should have seen it. No, I don't think he's trying to distract from it. Maybe he's not trying. I don't think he's trying to distract from it. I think he's trying to justify it. That's what I see him doing. He's trying to justify it. And he's going over the top to justify it. That's what I see here. I just can't see it any other way. That he's the leaker, and all of these little appearances he's made is to justify his leak. He did the right thing because Koberger's guilty, and somebody had to say it. That's what I suggest is happening here. I did engage with a woman with a prosthesis, but that felt much better than a table. Well, his inconsistency is being checked by lawyers. I'm sure it is. I just think he's just trying to cover his own ass. Not cover it, but appeal to the people that know he leaked. No, nobody can place him at the house the night of the murders. What else? Sorry, but the ends do not justify. I agree. The ends don't justify the means in any of this. Any of the processes and procedures and the interpretations of the data they had. I don't know that hip hop has the power to throw him in jail without they have to go through a hearing, right? He would have to be so whoever leaked has to be formally charged, Twiz. And the court may not be formally charging him. We don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what will happen, all things being equal, the process Koberger has entered into eventually will produce the information that gives us the answer to who the leaker was. I think it's rather interesting that Turvey is saying that it's the defense that Ada County is investigating. And, there were a lot of people connected to the defense. I don't think hip hop would throw him. Hip hop would have no business. He couldn't arrest him. Only the judge can't arrest anybody. They can swear out a warrant to get you arrested. But as far as charging someone criminally, that's not really within the purvey of a court. That's done by a prosecutor or a district attorney. I just think what he's doing does more damage to the court system, to the justice system, to the people that need defense representation. Yeah, but Ann Taylor's yelling at a man that's putting out verifiable evidence. So you have to ask yourself, why would she do that? I think the inappropriate interactions were between Cy Ray and Ann. You want to know my opinion? I think they were too close. Not Ann and Brian Koberger, not by any means. I just think he's acting like a guy that leaked. He's acting like a guy that's justifying his behavior. He's coming out and saying, I can place him here and here and here and here. Yeah, okay, Cy. Yeah, sure you can. I'm sure you can, Cy. Yeah. I'm until somebody can come up with a solid documented name of who leaked. Cy Ray is the only one acting like a leaker. Turvey is not. Turvey never discusses anything that wasn't already in the public. Look what Cy Ray's doing. What the fuck kind of a guy would come out and say that he's got data showing Koberger was at that house 5 times previous to the crime? Data that nobody can see. And you're going to argue that a guy that will say things like that isn't a leaker? Come on, man. I don't care what he says about GPS data. You've never seen it, Twiz. You know, with all your little laughing moon faces there, right? Yeah, I know. Always, you're too strong in defending the guy, and you're ignoring his blatant actions that he took as a defense expert working for that team. Right? I mean, there's just no sense in the guy doing that. Well, now it can't be used. How do you like that, Twiz? Now it can't be used. So now what? I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's nothing this guy did was good. Nothing that guy did was good. He's really kind of a piece of shit from the way he's behaved. He did not help anybody but Koberger. And if Koberger committed the crime, Cy Ray will be one of the reasons he doesn't get convicted of it when he goes through this process, which is going to eventually end up in courts, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that, kiss me, I don't buy anything Cy Ray is saying. I can't even emphasize enough, folks. I can't even come close to emphasizing enough that your handgun with your fingerprints at a crime scene isn't in and of itself evidence to charge you with the murder. You have to build even a circumstantial case to show that you were present during the time the gun was discharged. Okay? And when, now, knowing that, imagine this case where you have transfer DNA, the worst kind of DNA in the world. And you need to build a case to show the presence of Brian Koberger, and you don't look in their GPS? Come on, listen. I know these people can be stupid, but there's no way they could be as stupid as Cy Ray, because everything Cy Ray comes out of his mouth is stupid. Okay? Everything he's saying is stupid. It contradicts exactly the only thing that the prosecution ever had to do. The only task they had was to take the tip and connect Koberger to that residence during that time of that crime. And they couldn't do it. But Cy Ray is saying that if they'd have looked at the GPS data, they could have done it. That dude needs to be slapped so hard his face falls off. What a jerk off that guy is. I mean, come on, Cy Ray, with your little tweezer masturbation tools. Get off the fucking screens. Unbelievable, that guy. And then to do what he's doing to the defendant, whether the defendant's guilty or not. How dare he, as a trusted fucking engaged expert, do that? No, I'm not wrong here, Twiz. I'm so not wrong that nothing you say is going to change that. I'm just so not wrong. I'm just telling you. There's no way that Cy Ray is right. Absolutely not. And not in a million years could that guy be right. And the worst part is, here's the worst part. If he is right, that evidence now can't even be obtained and used. It's absolutely insane what this guy has done, Twiz. That's no expert. That's a jerk off. Plain and simple. He's a complete jerk off. It's not even a Twiz. There was also a federal fucking indictments or federal subpoenas on all of this too that you've never seen, right? So no, no. What Cy Ray is doing, what Cy Ray is, how he's behaving, the claims he's making, true or untrue doesn't matter. He's 100% jerk off for doing what he's doing by coming out in the public and speaking as he spoke against the defendant. He should never have done that. Yeah, I know. I think it's funny, man. I think it's rather funny, Twiz. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. It's almost like a topic that creates a troll environment inside the stream. Cy Ray is just a useless piece of shit, and that's it. There's no coming back from that in the eyes of many people, and hopefully other defense experts that are working for other clients in other cases don't come and do what that jerk off is doing. Right? At least Turvey and Whitcomb aren't arguing for innocent or guilt. They're not arguing whether this kid's innocent or guilty. They're just pointing out how horrifically managed the information that they had available was used. Right? So, yeah, I think Scully, you got a point there. I think you have a point there. But again, I just I can't find. Where is Kane the Purge? He's down to 6 viewers. Is he playing music over there or something? Hang on. He's not even in there. He's got a nuclear power plant in the back. Some dude holding up his fist. Some dude in, I don't know, the outfits they should have wore when they examined the 1122 King Road residence. And, yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Well, I think that tells everything. That's that statement right there. His behavior all suggested he's the leaker. Okay. I'm not acting surprised because of his opinion or his thoughts or what I'm saying is that he should never come forward to make these statements, Scully. He just shouldn't do that. Well, I don't care what he thinks. He's not the fucking beginning and end of it all. And let me just say, Twiz, if the guy had any fucking sense, he would have done what I'm saying. He would never have said a word to anybody. He would have allowed himself to become a witness, an unbiased witness. This guy is just no good. I mean, at best. And listen, if I'm accurate in suggesting that Mr. Cy Ray is the leak, oh my God. Oh my God. This guy did the worst things he could ever do to prevent a killer from walking the streets again. I don't really care. His data's useless. Whatever data he has is not going to be used in court. It's never going to make it through the process of a fucking motion. You just take the videos, you take the chapter in his book, you take his behaviors. And if he leaked, if he's the leaker, and I don't see any reason not to consider him the leaker. He's given no reason to suggest he's not the one that leaked. Quite the contrary. His behavior screams, I leaked that information. If that comes to truth, oh my God. Oh, what a mess he's made. What a jerk off. What up, Amy? Brandy, is there a Brandy in here? Look at that. She's number 1. So what else do we got here? Fox Cy Ray. Unbelievable. Someone speaking a different language. Hola todo blame. What the hell is that? We do not know who that is. Listening to some biohazard, hence the symbol. Oh boy. I don't know how there's any volume on that show. How could you be watching anything? He's back up to 7 viewers, though, but there's no one in there to view. What up there, Amy? Yeah, and I'm not going to be on here for much longer. I've been on here an hour and a half talking about nothing. We've talked about absolutely nothing, which is the equivalent. Listen, which is the equivalent of Kane B's show, which is doing absolutely nothing. I'm not even asking you guys, if you notice, I'm not even asking you to hit like, because I don't even know if the stream it's maybe it's entertaining, but I don't know. Kane B is not live yet. No, I just refreshed my browser. He's not live. He's an hour late. Well, almost an hour late. Within 5 minutes, he'll be exactly an hour late. Unbelievable. Yeah, kiss me. Click on the link and get your ass up here. Get your behind up here. Don't be scared. If you own a dog, you should have nothing to be scared about. The dog will protect you. I mean, come on. Come on. Maybe Kane went to get a burger. I was thinking of making French fries, but I think it's 12:40 at night. Is that a time to be eating French fries? And I'm thinking, yeah, maybe it is. If no one was using his data and he knew Cobra was there, it's pretty shitty for him. Where are you there? Kiss me. Come on. Kiss me. Come on. Well, yeah, Murphy unfortunately has proven his uselessness in the defense of his domain. What is it with you? I'm irresistible, I'm telling you. Well, I think you should let the audience decide whether you're irresistible or not. I mean, you got horns in the picture you sent me. I sent her a relatively new photo of myself, and then I never heard back from her. I thought, geez, that wasn't nice. Not nice at all. She could have said, well, at least you have a head of hair or something. Or, but no, nothing at all. It was just like, it was like the blow off. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Kiss me. Kiss me, kiss me. Oh my God. Bunch of wimps. 87 people, all wimped out. I'm going to refresh this YouTube page. Kane he's broaching the hour. Late for an hour. He's just broaching it. I still got 60 likes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect to get any likes from the stream because there's really nothing. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. Get in there, Kiss Me. Don't be chicken. Kiss Me might be Jeff H. Well, we'll see. If that's Jeff H, then we're going to have a very short conversation. I'm not talking about shower curtains and U-turns. Just not happening. Yeah, you can smell Jeff. I'm not going where he's going. I blocked Jeff a long time ago. I'm sure he comes in here under one of his many different fucking names, but he's got a pattern. You could generally tell when he's around. He doesn't want to hear about the unlawful process law enforcement used to catch a killer, if this guy's the killer, right? That's not important to a lot of these people. As long as they got the right guy, that's all that matters. Yeah, sure. I hope that applies to your children if they ever get charged with a crime they did or didn't commit, and they break all the rules to get to the person that happened to be your child, because that's what we're doing to ourselves, right? Yeah, he's got a narrative. He's got a pattern. He's fucked up from the floor up. He acts like a musician, a musical fucking religious guy. Drives me nuts. With all the other, yeah, he screwed everything up by doing what he did. That guy, what a retard! Unbelievable. They should have Murphy on a leash. And yeah, sounds like Cy Ray. Jeff is Cy Ray's cousin. Same bloodline. I did the IgG on him. They come from the same fucking ilk. Right? Unbelievable. Yep. I think they're third cousins. Identified through IgG and a fourth brother somewhere down the road. It's crazy. Yep, same bloodline. Kiss Me is just She's intimidated. If you say his name three, like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Jeff H. Jeff H. Jeff H. And now the curse has been opened. He wouldn't come in here anyway. He's a loser. Now you're calling yourself a loser? Oh my God. Just click the link and quit being a girl about it. Don't be such a girl. Put on your big boy pants. I said that to a lady that I was buying a sub from. I asked for it to be made a special way with like this. Anyways, I asked for a pretty complex Italian assorted. And after she writes it all down, she says, "Would you like me to cut that in half for you?" I said, "No, I can do that at home. I got my big boy pants on today." And she just burst out laughing. She goes, "Oh, you're not right, but that shit was funny." No, I eat mild lettuce, light mayo, light onion. There she's got her strong thong on. That's something you don't want to be reincarnated to come back as a thong. Because you end up with the wrong end of the thong and you're just going to be smelling like shit your whole life. So you do never want to be reincarnated to become a thong, okay? That's just my advice to y'all. If you get the choice to come back, don't think being a thong is a good move, guys. Oh no, be careful what you ask for. Oh my. I'm just full of like practical advice. You got to be careful what you ask for. Dear God, can you imagine? Yikes. What the hell? What is the best thing to come back as? A human being, of course. A human being, of course. There's nothing better than being a human being. Nothing comes close. Nothing comes close. We're one of the most fragile creatures on earth, but we're at the top of the food chain. Huh. Yeah, nothing better than being a human being. Can't beat that with a stick. What happened to Kane? Kane B, 11:40. An hour and 2 minutes. He still isn't there. We need to send out an emergency service to his home. Don't want to swat him, though. Mr. Tarek 22 seems to be holding the room down. There's 4 people in there now. I literally think putting up a late night stream that's full of nothing that matters has been successful. Yeah. Kane likes after midnight hours. Come on there, Kisme. Kisme, why can't you just click the link? I don't understand. What is the fear of clicking the link? Yeah, you too. But come on, Kisme. My God, you got to be begged. I hope you're not like that with your husband when it comes to intimacy. Begging is just not a good look, honey. Never make people beg. A no is fine. Or I'll be there in a minute is fine. But no, the begging's not good. You said you got on the strong thong, according to Twiz. Yeah, that begging is just, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It's not a good thing. It's not a good look either. Definitely not a good look. Hey, don't say that about your husband. You said I do, and you did. I did. If he's that bad, after the show, I can give you a safe haven that would make your life significantly easier. Yeah. What the fuck, Kane? Yeah, what's happened to Kane? Hope I didn't scare him off. It was, I mean, you know, I am going to do a stream that's going to be addressed to Brian Koberger himself. And I wouldn't mind even a few people in collaboration. I want to go over the PCA and point out to Mr. Koberger all the misinformation in the PCA that should have prevented it from being an arrest warrant. Right? Yeah, so I do want to do a stream on that. I also would like to go over some of the crime scene as to the available data that we have, and point out to Mr. Koberger where the exculpatory evidence within the crime scene is, and do a stream on that. I think those would be two good streams. Now, if it turns out that any of that information was used only for the benefit of a killer, I would definitely feel bad. He is a sweet man, but he's an asshole. Well, then that's why you got a thong. Put him right where he belongs, on that string. The PA arrest is a whole other shit show. I agree. Passive aggressive arrest. Jeff's the seventh-day propagandist. All right, that's enough. Don't ask her to come up. Clearly, she's unable. Clearly, it's a level of interaction amongst the people in true crime that she's just unwilling to take the step. She, I don't know whether it's fear. I really can't. I can't analyze her. I don't really know her. Seen a couple of pics, and she's good looking. But she's on that one day. Yeah. Apparently she's got a headache. I don't know what else to say. We've determined, at least from the male's perspective, that Kiss Me has a headache. It's just been a bad day for her. Something, right? I don't want someone. Never mind. Of course you do. Of course you do. Nobody should be an asshole. Not to his wife. I know that from experience. It just doesn't work over the long term. So I'm just saying. Uh-oh. Now you got to return your thong. Twiz is telling you got to return that strong thong. Never even heard of a strong thong before. And ladies, I really don't want any kind of a deep description of what a strong thong may be. My pool is salt, but salt is chlorine. There's the only distinction between a saltwater pool and a chlorine pool is the salt is sodium chloride. Chloride is chlorine, and you're making it yourself on the premises rather than buying it pre-made in a bottle or in a tablet. So for those of you that don't know, a saltwater pool is still a chlorine pool. Yep, salt to chlorine, back to salt. Yep. And the other thing about a saltwater pool is you chlorinate every day to the extent that's necessary for the gallons of water you have. And so it's a much more consistent system. And if you were to leave town or go on a vacation, as long as your power doesn't go out, you're going to come home to a perfectly clear pool. So there's definitely advantages to the saltwater system. The water is softer. It doesn't promote the discoloration of your clothing. It's very nice. Yeah, my pool stays at about 90 degrees, but I don't have to do a blast of salt of shock. But I don't have, occasionally I have another person in there with me. But for the most part, it's like my private sanctuary. And I run the saltwater chlorinator 6 hours a day. And it just does fantastic. It's not hot. That's not hot water. I know people think, but 90 degrees, man, you could hang out in that pool the whole day, all night. You could spend the night in the pool. It's fucking awesome. And when the sun's beating down on you, when you dip down in the water, it feels just as cold as if it were cold. Once I've got I have got a very deep tan. I tan up real nice. So, and it may be simply because I'm Italian. But yeah, my arms are seriously, my shoulders, my chest. I'm a pee in your pool. Well, you ain't gonna be kissed where you pee then. If you pee in my pool. Rudeness. Miss Rudeness. That's just a terrible name. All right. Anybody got a topic that they want to mention? Anybody got a point they want to make, a document they want to drop? I might go out in the pool now. Oh, please, never swim alone. Are you serious? I swim alone all the time. Put a chemical in your can, see who peed. Well, it won't be me. I got my Kindle. I got peanuts. Listen, I got a chipmunk I named Bob. So I bring peanuts out with me for the pool. And generally it's to give Bob his peanuts. And when Bob doesn't show up, I eat the peanuts myself. But typically it's a combination. There's a peanut for me, a couple of peanuts for Bob, peanut for me, a couple of peanuts for Bob. And Bob the chipmunk is he jumps right up onto the ledge of the pool, looks at me, takes the peanut, looks at me, sticks it in his mouth, and runs away. It's quite funny. I thought that was a good name for a chipmunk, Bob, because it's not a name anybody would apply to a chipmunk. And in my book, that makes it rank right up there with a top name, Bob. And I call him Bob. Bob, where are you, Bob? You're in the pool. We don't believe it. Send us a pic. Send us a pic. We don't believe you're in the pool. You could swim alone. Just don't say I didn't warn you. I've been swimming alone for decades. What do you mean? Kathy did a premiere earlier. Something about Brian Colbert might have to go to court. He might have to appear. Yeah. Yeah, he might have to appear. I'm still waiting on Kane. I was hoping Kane would jump up so he could relieve me. But he's a very unreliable streamer. He's got 1,600 viewers or subscribers. And Scully's over there, and the White Rabbit's over there, and Mr. Tarek is over there, and Kiss Me is over there, and no Kane. Kane is he's just gone. Let's see here. Where Kiss Me? Yeah, where's the picture? Send a picture there. We want to see you in your bathing suit outfit. You could be a runway model, maybe. I know just the runway too. Shane would just so cat SIDS. Let me text him. Scully Darvinuber. I'm right. Yeah, he's here too. He's waiting on you to go offline. Well, if that was the case, he'd come in here and ask. I'd happily step down for him. I didn't think he thought this was going to affect his stream. Kiss me. Where's the picture? It's not too deep to touch. Well, that's always good. Yeah. You don't want it too deep to touch. You know, they have to play that song about not getting any satisfaction. We don't want any of that happening. My God. Ooh, she unzips her pants. Look at that. I don't know. Sausage slams on the table. Her husband's home. Slim pickings after 1 a.m. It's 12:58 a.m. Yeah, if he's waiting for me to get offline, I'd find that a little hard to believe. Dear Lord is big. Sergeant, they're starting again. Who's starting? What are they saying? What? What are they saying? Who? Where? What? Is he over there? They got 5 people over in his room, and there's 83 people here. Love it. What the hell? We lost the custody queens. I'm surprised she came in here. To be very honest with you, she would have been better off coming in last night when we actually had a good stream going on. She showed up in the stream, the stream of bullshit, the never-ending stream of bullshit. It comes from the north, heads to the south. So this is the segment of, do you know your own planet? I have a question for those of you. The 2 most common rivers are two rivers that you should know in the world. There may be 3, but I'm pretty sure there's only 2. But 2 rivers that run from south to north. You have 15 seconds to answer this question. What 2 rivers run south to north. 15 seconds. Go ahead, folks. The Nile? The Nile? No, the Nile's right. Amazon in yellow? Wrong. Go ahead. Come on. Mississippi? Wrong. Nile? Correct. Name the second river that runs south to north. It is in the continental United States. There's a spoiler. Continental United States has a river that runs south to north. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You got the Nile. What's the next one? Do you know the planet you live on? You do not know the planet you live on. That river is called the Genesee River. The Genesee River starts in Pennsylvania, and the Genesee River empties into Lake Ontario, running south to north. The Nile River runs south to north from Africa, and it dumps. Where does it dump there? Mediterranean? No, it's the Genesee River. Well, no one said that you were smart, so don't call yourself a dumb shit. Don't go that far yet there, kiss me. Yeah. Yeah, the Genesee beer, the Genesee cream ale. I don't live too far from that place. I'm within driving distance of that river. You know, you're nothing half-assed. White Rabbit is Lucy. Lucy is White Rabbit. Is she in here? Where are you, White Rabbit? Here, Rabbit, Rabbit, Rabbit. Remember the Bugs Bunny show? They went left at Albuquerque. Yeah, we have nobody that clicked on that link. We still have no purge. He's purged himself. It's now 1:01. It's exactly 1 hour and 16 minutes beyond the scheduled time. And he's not here. The canal intersects with the river. Correct. The Erie Canal, which is in New York. Why has she got to be a white rabbit? Why has it got to be white? Why can't it be a black rabbit? Let's not be racist. Come on. Why can't it be any color rabbit? Matrix is Lucy. Lucy be tripping. Good God. All right. Well, I've done all the nothing that I could do. And I've somehow lassoed roughly 80 of you throughout this particular episode of Skip Kane B stopping here, which is like, there you go. Get a calico rabbit. Lucy doesn't do all this. Who's Matrix? Who's translucent? Geez, to get somebody nobody knows who they are, never show their faces. I am shortly, I don't have the exact date and time, but shortly I'm going to set up the camera system. But I don't know, man. I don't know how to be. I don't know how to undo being lazy. Being lazy is such a wonderful way to live. It literally is. There are some downsides to it, but they don't come anywhere near the upsides. I mean, I really got to. I mean, the confessions from the soul. Laziness is almost an uncomparable joy. That reality has little to compare with. It's if there is a matrix and we live in it, laziness is not a sin. It's really not a sin. It's not a sin. I make as much money now being lazy as I did when I worked. So, there's that, right? So productivity is there. What else can I say about being lazy? I don't know. I mean, I'm not extravagant. Well, maybe I am extravagantly lazy, but I still do things like I go to the bathroom all by myself. Okay. I mean, so there's that. I do cook not always. You know how much less expensive it is to buy food prepared that you pick up than it is to prepare food at home for yourself? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, if you want to extend laziness even into feeding yourself, there is a level of reward there for being lazy. No cooking, no doing dishes, right? You could get it delivered to your house, which adds to the cost, but then that only adds enough to make it as affordable as cooking for yourself. There's literally very little downside to being lazy. I mean, the best part, and this is something I think Americans maybe they don't understand, that we live in a society where everything can be provided for you. You gotta have money, don't get me wrong. But setting that aside, right? You live in a wonderful time. Literally live in the most magical time ever. Ever. What could take months and months and months to do now can be accomplished by going to an airport, getting on a tube of death, and streaking across the sky at 560 miles an hour. And you can end up on the other coast in 6 hours. I mean, and what do you got to do that? Just sit in your seat. Sit in your seat. Shut up. Don't do anything aggressive. Mind your own business. I mean, that's lazy. No having to hunt. No having to do any of that to cook your food. My God. Schizophrenia is so detrimental to society. I don't know who you're calling schizophrenic. If it's me, then that's fine. You have to be strategic. Plan some meals to make out of leftover. Well, see? Yeah, what? Like I bought an 8-piece bucket of chicken today. It was $10. Now, I eat 4 pieces of it, which means tomorrow I have another meal of 4 pieces of chicken, 2 legs and 2 thighs. $10. How the hell can you eat for $5 a day in 2026? That don't even make sense. But you can. Yeah. On Thursday, I get that devouring Italian fucking assorted sub with extra salami and capicola. And I eat half of it on Thursday and half of it on Friday. It cost me $6 a day. You just can't beat it. Although last week, I must confess, I ate the whole sub. I was watching boxing and I ate the whole sub and I passed the fuck out. That's another thing. I've also taken a nap every single day for the last 30 years. Every day I've taken a nap. I don't miss a day. As a matter of fact, the lazy lifestyle that I lead demands that I take a nap every day. I eat 1 meal a day. I'll have a few snacks before I go to bed. I got to get watermelon. Lately, I've had a craving for watermelon. I do sometimes eat hot dogs, but I prefer pure beef. T-bone steaks, porterhouse steaks. I definitely enjoy that. But, they're $20 a pound now. So, then you add your side. Oh, I need some corn on the cob, too. I need some corn on the cob and some watermelon. So I'm going to have to go out. Oh, I also need to get eye surgery on my cataract. I wrote it down today. Last night I wrote it down after the discussion we all had in here about eyes. And then I wrote it down, and somehow the pad that I wrote it down on got moved. And literally, I didn't even see that I needed it until just now. The pad has now been put into place. It'll remind me tomorrow to call an eye doctor, because I'm pretty sure my right eye has a cataract in it. Twiz, what is Twiz holding? Twiz, put your sausage away. Don't be flashing it to kiss me where she has a husband. Unbelievable. We are a bunch of wackadoodles. Yep, I have a cataract. Yeah, no big deal. At least I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I can still see, but things are a bit blurry and cloudy. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I got one. Twiz has a handler. Sure he does. You still in Idaho, Twiz? Did you flip on BK? What's yeah, people are asking, did you flip on DK? Is stuff yellow? No, nothing is yellow. It's self-diagnosed. I don't do eye drops, no. I don't have dry eyes that I'm aware of. No. Nothing is yellow, Twiz. Everything is still, well, yeah. The web page is white. Why? Do you have to see yellow? BK better hope he was framed. Twiz and Cy Ray sitting in a tree. KISS me where I pee. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Twiz with the baby carriage. What's that? What's that link to? What are you linking us to? Where's Purge? Cataracts often turn stuff yellow, but you might not notice. Oh, okay. No, nothing's yellow that I'm aware of. Now that you're asking, I'm looking around with that eye. And the web page is white as white could be. I still see yellow, orange, green, blue. I see all the colors. Everything is real blurry and it's like a foggy vision. No, I don't have that happening with me either. I'm gonna go. I need to go to an eye doctor, no matter what it is. No matter what, I've got to go to an eye doctor, get it fixed. And I got to make a note. My fucking dentist, excuse my language for the F word. I have not, will not, and can't even ever dream of fucking my dentist. It's a highly educated black male, and that just isn't on the party list. So no, that's not on the list. But he's got a tooth. The dude has got my tooth. I did 2 implants. One is installed. The other implant, the titanium thing didn't take. He had to do it over. Then it had to heal. And now he took all the impressions for the replacement tooth. And yeah, I'm falling apart over here, Miss Q. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. You're not in dabbling with it. No. But he does have one girl there that is just, I'm in love. At least for the short term. So when I get my last tooth in, I'm gonna actually talk with her and see if she'll go to dinner with me to celebrate my capacity to now chew food in that side of my face. And then I want one more. I was thinking 2, but I only need one more. It's coming from China. I don't want no Chinese teeth. Don't even go there, Brandy. If I get Chinese teeth and now I got a blurry eye, I'm going to end up squinting, right? And so for those of you that don't know, I had a brief interaction with a military strategist a long time ago, okay? A long time ago, a military strategist on what we could do to conquer China, okay? I could have a camera in my tooth. That's pretty awesome. And so my solution to a potential U.S.-China war was simple. It was simple. And it was within the realm of accomplishable. And my suggestion to this Pentagon war planner was that we blindfold the Chinese people with dental floss. And problem solved, right? Just problem solved. There should be no concern at that point. That was my solution to a potential Chinese conflict with America. I used to go to this one place called Mama San's. And I forget it was Asian. I don't know what it was. What persuasion of Asian it was, right? Because the Asians have multiple persuasions. Malaysians and Indonesians and Chinese and so Asian is not just there's Japanese, there's right Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. That was something when I was young. But anyway, this woman used to call me round eye. Look, everybody, round eye here. And the reason she would call me round eye is because I wouldn't eat any of their desserts. Their desserts were just god awful. And so after I'd been making visits there and never taken dessert, how come you don't eat dessert? I said, I don't like the desserts you guys sell. I don't like Asian desserts. I don't like Asian cookies because they're not cookies. Those are the blandest, nastiest. I wouldn't stick that in the mouth of somebody I didn't like. Okay? I don't eat Asian desserts. She said, round eye. You're a round eye. I go, yeah. She goes, you want what? I go, apple pie. Round eye want apple pie? Okay. She snaps her fingers and brings the waiter over, give him $20. Go down the street, buy apple pie for round eye. You have dessert here. Every time I'd show up, they'd send somebody out for an apple pie. People, I was with some of the girls I was dating, they'd be embarrassed. Why are you having to get you apple pie? Because that's what they do. They're accommodating. Round eye, eat apple pie. They did. Vanilla ice cream. I think I told him that Chinese joke too in a different fashion about blindfolding with dental floss. Pie a la mode. Can't beat it. I have an apple pie in the freezer. And I've gone through a lot of frozen apple pies, and there are a couple of brands out there that are good. Yeah. Much quicker than making it yourself, let me tell you. So, and I've done that too. I've made homemade apple pies. But yeah, I'd rather not. And I don't have ice cream. So you're not American, Twiz. What are you of Asian persuasion? Twizzle stick? What do you mean you don't like apple pie? My ladies, all of you that are hot for Twiz, that should just be cooling off right now. What kind of an American man doesn't eat apple pie? I like other things. Well, let's not get into your personal life about what other things you might like. Okay? Inquiry minds do not want to know. The texture. The texture? Unbelievable. I'm sure you've had worse textures in your mouth, Twiz. How could you not like apple pie? I don't know, ladies, but if you're looking for a man, take him off your list. Unbelievable. Doesn't like cake. Doesn't like apple pie. Holy shit. Oh my God. I don't get it. I don't know what nation you people are from. Am I in here with fellow Americans or people that are wishy-washy about America? Come on. How many of you like Chevrolets, apple pies, and hot dogs? Come on. Where in that? He likes ice cream. Oh, isn't that cute, Twiz? He wants something soft in his mouth. The texture's more comfortable for his mouth. You got to be kidding me. I love whipped cream. Yes. Unbelievable. Pumpkin pie is nasty. That's nasty pie. She's my cherry pie. Better than something hard. Pumpkin pie is disgusting. Oh my Lord. Isn't that a vegetable? Isn't pumpkin pie a vegetable or something? I don't even want to know. No. Cherry pie, that rocks. Sweet potato pie, that's kind of freaky. Potato pie, dear Lord. Lemon meringue rules. That's awesome pie as well. See, now when I order groceries, I'm going to have to add some of these pies in here. All about the texture. You people in texture, I don't understand. If it's food, it's to be eaten. It's not to be judged. What do you like? Is there something like, are you like a foodist, like a racist, but a foodist, right? Pumpkin pie is kind of nasty. It's like dog shit with a crust. You got to be killing me. Oh my Lord. Strawberry ice cream. That's. Your effeminate side is coming forward, Twiz. Congratulations. You're going to have to go to the Kane's purge. We're going to purge you right out of here. Listen, I was with this girl, Kara, at one time. And she decided she was going to make a peanut butter pie. No, I love Thanksgiving. I'm not a pumpkin eater. Fucking pumpkin. You got to be starving to death to eat a fucking pumpkin. What's the matter with you? Yeah, it all needs ice cream. Chocolate gravy biscuits. Yeah, but that's not we're talking about sweets, Brandy. I don't know how you could get off that topic. That's the problem I have with pumpkin pie. There's nothing sweet about it, right? To me, it's like, I don't even, you want to be with a girl with a sweet Southern accent? Or you want to be with some crazy New Jersey broad with some slang ass fucking, come on. Sweet is good. She likes soggy cereal. Squash soup is good. It might be. Scully bought strawberry cheesecake today. That may be pretty good. Captain Crunch with cold milk. Oh my. Pumpkin pie is no good. It's no good. Don't eat it. There's something there. It's no. Kiss me plays soggy biscuit. I don't know what that means. Can you define that for the rest of the room there, Twiz? Cheesecake is good. I had something. I said, yeah, no, I cherry pie, lemon meringue pie. I think any pie with sweetness to it. That's what a pie should be. It should be based all around sweetness. Where does the sweetness come from? From fucking pumpkins. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Anyway, yeah, all right. It's 1:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time within the state of New York. I love mini wheats. Those are awesome. Everybody loves ice cream. Beer cookies with milk. Graham crackers, they're awesome. All right, folks, thank you for coming in. This was the stream to not be a stream. And it lasted 2 fucking hours. And we still don't have Kane. What happened to Kane? Where the hell is Kane? Someone better check on Kane. Right? Someone check on Kane. Figure out what's happened to the Kane. Kane needs to be revived. Maybe he's having a sugar. He passed out from a sugar overdose. Right? I don't care for coconut. But that, I know you all be shit like crazy off mini wheats. Dear God, White Rabbit. Again, thank you for coming in, folks. We're going to shut this down. So stay out of trouble. But if you get in trouble, make sure you do it yourself so that nobody can snitch on you. Because them snitches is bitches, man. And you don't want to have bitches snitching on you. You better add a lot of sugar to that pumpkin pie, okay? A lot of sugar to it. Oh, my God. Everybody be good. Thanks for coming in. Wasting a couple hours of your life with me.